You locked your door last night. But did you lock your spirit? Because something is sitting in your bedroom right now, watching your breakthrough stall. You feel the delay. You feel the heaviness. You feel the resistance you cannot explain. This is not random. This is not normal. This is not coincidence. I was inside the occult world, and I know what objects are used to block destinies. Stay with me, because what is about to be exposed will change how you sleep forever. Your bedroom is not just a place of rest. It is a spiritual control room. What you allow inside it decides who has access to you while you sleep. Most people don't understand this. They think attacks only come through prayerlessness or sin. But in the occult world, objects are gates, silent gates, legal doors. When I was inside Witchcraft, the first thing we studied was placement. Not spells first, not chants first, placement. Because some objects don't need words. They already speak in the spirit. There are items that act like spiritual cameras. They don't move, they don't glow, but they observe. And once observation is established, interference begins. This is how breakthroughs are blocked without noise. One of the most dangerous objects is anything that reflects identity while you sleep. Mirrors positioned improperly, reflective surfaces facing the bed, old mirrors with unknown history. In the occult, mirrors are not decoration. They are portals of monitoring. When a mirror faces a sleeping person, it creates what we called a feedback loop. Your spirit is relaxed. Your defenses are low. Your consciousness is offline. That is when access is easiest. You wake up tired for no reason. Motivation drains. Prayer feels heavy. Progress slows. You think it's stress. It is surveillance. I have seen witches track believers through mirrors placed in bedrooms. Not because the mirror is evil by itself, but because it becomes an agreement. An agreement that says, you may watch. Another object is items connected to your past identity. Old gifts from broken relationships, clothing tied to sinful seasons, objects linked to trauma, abuse, or rebellion. In witchcraft, memory is power. Anything emotionally charged carries residue. Residue becomes a handle. A handle becomes a hook. You keep it because it feels harmless. But the spirit realm does not read sentiment. It reads permissions. Every night you sleep beside that object, it whispers to your destiny, you are still who you used to be. Breakthrough cannot land where identity is confused. Then there are symbols disguised as decor, abstract art, tribal symbols, mystical patterns bought for aesthetics. You didn't know what it meant, but someone did when they designed it. In the occult, symbols are contracts without signatures. You don't have to believe in them for them to function. Belief is not required. Presence is enough. That's why some homes feel heavy the moment you enter. That's why sleep is disturbed. That's why peace leaks out slowly. And finally, there is the most underestimated object. Technology placed too close to your rest. Phones under pillows. Laptops beside beds. Screens facing you while you sleep. In witchcraft, constant signal equals constant access. Noise weakens discernment. Light disrupts spiritual cycles. You don't rest deeply. You don't dream clearly. Your spirit stays alert but not alert enough to fight. That state is called spiritual fog. It is perfect for delay. This is how witches don't attack you directly. They let your environment do the work. You pray harder, but the atmosphere resists you. You fast, but your sleep never restores you. You declare, but the ceiling feels low because something in your bedroom is standing between you and heaven. This is not fear. This is awareness. Once you remove the object, resistance collapses fast. Breakthrough doesn't struggle when gates are closed. You were not stuck because you were weak. You were delayed because access was open. And now you are seeing it. There is something the occult understands very well. Authority accumulates. Not everything becomes dangerous overnight. Some objects grow power slowly, quietly, patiently. In witchcraft, we call these resting altars. They are not built to look dark. They are built to look normal. An altar is any object that receives attention, time, emotion, or routine. Whatever you consistently give focus to begins to collect authority in your life. This is where many believers are unknowingly trapped. One of the most common hidden altars in bedrooms is the chair that holds your burdens. That one chair where clothes pile up, where stress lands, where exhaustion is dumped every night. It looks harmless, but spiritually, it becomes a collection point. In the occult, clutter is not disorder. It is storage. Every unresolved emotion you attach to an object gives it weight. That weight becomes influence. You sleep near it. You wake near it. Your spirit keeps registering it. Over time, peace starts leaking. Motivation thins out. Joy becomes delayed. Not because of demons jumping around, but because authority has shifted. Another powerful hidden altar is objects linked to vows you never broke, promises spoken in pain, words said during anger, declarations made in hopeless seasons, letters, journals, notes written during despair. In witchcraft, words are seeds. Written words are planted seeds. Keeping them close to where you sleep keeps the harvest alive. You moved on emotionally, but the altar stayed active. That is why some people cannot step into new seasons. Their bedroom keeps reminding the spirit realm of old agreements. Then there are gifts received without discernment. Not every gift comes with clean intention. Some carry envy. Some carry control. Some carry manipulation. In the occult, gifting is a transfer mechanism. You don't have to know the intent. The object remembers it. Placed in the bedroom, it stays close to your subconscious, close to your vulnerability, close to your authority center. That's why you feel drained after rest. That's why sleep doesn't refresh you. Your spirit is negotiating instead of restoring. Another hidden altar is images you look at before sleep. Posters, screensavers, photos. What your eyes feed on before rest speaks to your spirit all night. In witchcraft, images are gateways of meditation. They anchor imagination. Imagination anchors reality. If the last thing you see reinforces fear, lust, anger, or loss, your spirit does not shut down. It stays engaged. That engagement becomes fatigue. You wake up tired because your spirit never rested. And finally, there are objects tied to unhealed trauma. Items you kept because throwing them away felt too painful. So you placed them near your bed. In the occult, pain is currency. Trauma-linked objects keep pain circulating. Circulation becomes permission. Permission becomes influence. You don't feel attacked, you feel heavy. This is the strategy. Not chaos, control. Not loud oppression, quiet delay. Breakthrough avoids places where authority is divided. Heaven responds to alignment. When these hidden altars remain, your prayers go up, but your life stays still. Not because God is silent, but because something else is speaking too. This is why cleansing environments causes sudden acceleration. Peace returns fast. Sleep deepens. Clarity sharpens. Because authority shifts back to you. You are not imagining the resistance. You are sleeping beside it. And now you know where to look. Here is the part most people never hear. The spirit realm does not move on emotions. It moves on permission. Witchcraft is not powered by fear alone. It is powered by legality. Every successful attack begins with a legal opening. And many of those openings sit quietly in bedrooms. In the occult, we were taught this rule early. Never fight where you can be invited. Invitations are cleaner than attacks. They last longer. They don't need maintenance. One of the strongest legal openings is objects tied to ungodly covenants. Jewelry worn during sinful relationships. Items bought during seasons of rebellion. Keepsakes from moments where God was deliberately ignored. Those moments created agreements. You repented. God forgave you, but the object stayed. In witchcraft, Objects act as witnesses. They testify to the past. Placed in your bedroom, they remind the spirit realm of doors that were once opened. That doesn't mean you are condemned. It means something is still claiming access. That is why some people pray intensely but see cycles repeat. Same struggle, different year. The covenant ended spiritually, but the reminder remained physically. Another powerful legal object is money-linked items connected to loss or manipulation. Receipts from painful financial seasons, debt letters kept close, items associated with shame or lack. In the occult, money is not just currency. It is authority in physical form. Objects tied to financial trauma anchor poverty cycles. You sleep beside lack. You wake up fearing provision. Fear speaks louder than faith during rest. Breakthrough avoids atmospheres that keep rehearsing loss. Then there are objects tied to secret habits. Things you hide. Things you quickly move when people visit. Things you don't want prayed over. Secrecy is a legal agreement. In witchcraft, hidden objects are considered protected zones. They operate without challenge. Placed near the bed, they become nighttime strongholds. That is why conviction increases at night. That is why sleep becomes restless. That is why peace disappears after lights go out. Your spirit knows something is unresolved. Another overlooked legal opening is inheritance objects. Items passed down without discernment. Family heirlooms with unknown spiritual history. Not everything old is evil, but not everything old is clean. In witchcraft, lineage objects carry generational signatures. Placed in bedrooms, they reinforce ancestral patterns. Same sickness, same delays, same relation breakdowns. You call it coincidence. The spirit realm calls it continuity. And finally, there is spoken permission reinforced by objects. Decor with words of negativity. Quotes that glorify struggle. Images that normalize defeat. Words create laws. Sleeping beside defeat talk trains your spirit to expect delay. Expectation becomes agreement. Agreement becomes outcome. This is why breakthrough often happens after environment changes. Not because God moved, but because resistance lost its legal ground. When legal ground is removed, attacks collapse fast. No fight, no noise, just sudden relief, peace returns. Sleep restores, momentum begins, because heaven always responds when permission is withdrawn. You were not under a curse. You are surrounded by contracts you never read, and now they are being exposed. This is the most dangerous state, not when breakthrough is far, but when it is close. In witchcraft, the strongest resistance is released right before movement, because stopping arrival is easier than stopping pursuit. Some objects are designed for that exact purpose. They don't attack your faith. They attack your timing. One of the most powerful breakthrough killers is objects linked to distraction and overexposure. Multiple clocks, constant notifications, noise-producing devices near your bed. In the occult, timing is sacred. Disruption of rhythm weakens manifestation. When your sleep cycles are broken, your spiritual alignment shifts. You wake up rushed. Prayer becomes mechanical. Decisions lose clarity. Breakthrough requires precision. Distraction destroys precision. Another object is unfinished projects stored in the bedroom. Work files, tools, business items placed where rest should rule. In witchcraft, unfinished assignments create suspended energy. Your spirit never enters full rest. It stays alert, half working, half waiting. That state blocks acceleration. You are always busy, but never advancing. Then there are objects tied to comparison. Photos that remind you of what others achieved. Screens that replay other people's success. In the occult, comparison weakens authority. Authority requires confidence. Confidence grows in rest. Sleeping beside inadequacy trains your spirit to hesitate. Breakthrough does not land in hesitation. Another deadly object is items connected to control. Medication kept from fear, not necessity. Security objects fueled by anxiety. Lists written from panic. Fear-based preparation creates fear-based outcomes. In witchcraft, fear is used to delay answers, not deny them, delay them. And finally, the most subtle breakthrough killer, objects you refuse to surrender because they feel safe. Safety can become a prison. In the occult, false safety is one of the strongest bindings. You trust the object more than God's timing. You hold it tighter during uncertainty. That tight grip becomes resistance. Breakthrough flows where surrender exists. This is why some people are faithful, prayerful, committed, and still stuck. Their bedroom is resisting change. Once these objects are removed, something shifts immediately. Sleep deepens, dreams clarify, decisions sharpen. Momentum returns without effort. Because delay was never about your calling. It was about what you were sleeping beside. You don't need a new prophecy. You need a clear environment. And now you know what to confront. This is your moment of authority. Nothing hidden has the right to stay hidden anymore. You are not powerless, you are positioned. Remove what resists you and watch heaven respond. Your breakthrough is not delayed, it is waiting. Stand up, clean the ground, take control, and step forward because nothing blocking you survives exposure.